When I was younger, I used to think that strength just meant large muscles. Muscles that you could lift large things with, and muscles that you could knock somebody out with. I thought that was the meaning of strength. But throughout my life, through my obstacles and my experiences, my challenges, the people around me, and the books and ideas that I've internalized, I realized there's a lot more to strength than people first realize. And the way that I kind of got to know strength was when I was probably at my weakest. And this was a time when I was scrolling all the time, right? I was scrolling on social media and I couldn't stop myself. It was the only thing that brought me pleasure. And it was mostly video games and scrolling that consisted all of my time. I would spend most of my time doing that, and inside I was pretty lonely. When I went to go speak to people and make friends, most of the time I was just making self-deprecating jokes so that other people would like me. Inside, I felt empty. And the first time that this changed was when I decided that I couldn't take this anymore, and I started working out. I can't tell you exactly why I started working out, but I just thought that it would be the right thing to do, and thankfully it was. And when I started working out, I realized the 3 types of strength that are involved in our lives. The first type of strength was obviously the physical strength. When I started working out, I started gaining so much muscle and a lot of strength that I could apply, to any physical avenue of my life. But I also realized that there was more than just physical strength, more than just muscles growing. It was the fact that I had to show up for every session of working out. There was no laziness involved. There was no, it's just my genetics type of thing. It was genuinely if I put in the effort. And so there was mental strength. I had to persevere. I had to be disciplined. I had to come back every single day. And then there was a new type of strength, which is not something that I always knew about, but is something that I'm starting to learn about now. And this is the reason why I'm making this video. And that type of strength is spiritual strength. Spiritual strength means your ability to do the right thing, even when no one's watching. It's to have your values. And I was doing that stuff. I was working out. And I wasn't really telling too many people about it. I didn't make a big show about it. I was doing the right thing. This is just a taste of spiritual strength. It's not really a great example. But this was the first time that I really experienced all 3 types of strength: physical, mental, and spiritual. Now, before I get into these topics, I want to make sure that everybody who's watching understands that they're all equal. All of these types of strength, it's not like one type of strength is better than others. It's not like spiritual strength is more divine and it's just way better than physical strength and you don't need physical strength. It's not like that. Without physical strength, you can't have health. Without health, how can you be happy? How can you have that mindset to genuinely look at spiritual strength and try to improve it? Now, what is strength? I've thought about this a lot, and I think that strength is being the best version of you. Being the best version of you. Physical strength means being the best version of you in terms of physical prowess. Mental strength means being the best version of you by showing up and being disciplined and opening your mind to learning. And then spiritual strength comes from doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. Holding by your values that nobody would know, oh yeah, he's switching up his values, but inside you know exactly who you need to be. That is strength. It's being the best version of yourself. It's not saying, my genetics said I was this weak kid and I'm going to stay that way. No, I'm going to be better than that. I'm going to be stronger than that. My genetics just say I'm just going to go searching for pleasure. No, I'm going to be better than that. That's my mental strength. My genetics say I'm just going to go and be corrupted. I'm just going to go for greed. I'm just going to do whatever I can to manipulate others. No, I'm not. I'm going to be stronger than that, even if it takes me longer to success. That is spiritual strength. It's being the best version of you and not settling for what's easy. Now, with physical strength, the best thing that you can start doing is working out. For me, as I said before, it changed me. It opened my mind to all these type of strength, but more than that, it just opened my mind in general. It helped me realize that I could have confidence in myself, that I could genuinely enjoy life again. It allowed me to be attractive to others, and it allowed me to see myself and genuinely be proud. And obviously, physical strength means that I was able to build strength. I was able to build physical prowess. So to give a beginner a couple tips, I would say, number 1, start training with resistance. And resistance basically means not cardio, but actual exercise that pushes you and makes you fail, right? It's not just exercise that you can do forever. It's not just running forever. What actually builds strength, physical strength, is exercises which are so hard that you fail while you're doing the exercise. So after you do a couple reps, then you're failing. And to add on to that, I would say probably the best rep range to start failing in is around 4 to 8. Now, a lot of people will say, 10 to 15, maybe, 8 to 15. I'd say 4 to 8. And the reason for that is myofibular hypertrophy. Now, this is a long topic. I don't want to get into it. I have another video on this. But basically, it means increasing the strength of the actual muscle tissue and not increasing the size of the water that surrounds it. And finally, the last tip for working out is to have a clean diet. It's to have a diet that is high protein, that is getting you the nutrients that you need so that you can actually build that muscle and build that strength. Now, if you want help with any of this stuff, you want to learn how to build a physique that is attractive and to build more strength and athleticism, but do it from home in the way that I did, right? I didn't do it at the gym. I worked out from home because, again, I didn't want to show everybody that I was doing it. I worked out from home and I learned to use just my own body weight for my resistance, and I'm able to hit almost any muscle in my body. If you're interested in that, check out the first link in the description. The next type of strength is mental strength. And the first part to this is discipline. Discipline is doing what's needed regardless of if you feel like it. It's doing what you need to do, doing what you know that you need to do. And it doesn't matter if you feel sad today. It doesn't matter if you feel happy today. It doesn't matter if you feel disgusted. It doesn't matter. You do what you need to do. You do your duty. That is discipline. It's showing up even when you don't feel like it. Perseverance, that's the second part to mental strengths. It's about coming back after your obstacles. It's about not letting something stop you. It's about doing the thing that you need to do regardless of if it's hard. You're still doing it. Even when you fail, you're coming back. You're saying, I will not quit. I will not quit. I must keep going. I must keep pushing. The next part to mental strength is taking risks and challenges. Mental strength means your ability to hold it together even when it gets tough, even when life is stressful. It's your ability to keep going despite those obstacles. And when you engage in risks and when you engage in challenges, you don't know all the outcomes. You don't know if you're going to be okay. And you have to push through. You have to hold yourself together. Make the discomfortable comfortable. Find comfort in the discomfortable. Pursue risks and pursue those challenges. Pursue those obstacles that make you want to panic, but you control yourself and you overcome inside. That's mental strength. The final part to mental strength is your ability to learn and to find new strategies instead of sticking to one thing, instead of sticking to one mindset and saying, this is the only way that I can find success. Instead, be open to new strategies of trying new tactics and actually learning. A lot of people close their mind. Don't close your mind. Be open to learning. Be open to hearing other people's opinions. Be open to hearing the opinions of people you think are your enemies or are opposing you or your opponents. Be open to hear their mindsets and their values and their ideas. and then see if some of those ideas you need to incorporate. Always try to learn, try to read, try to consume good content, not content like social media when you're just scrolling, but content that is genuinely good for you. The final type of strength is spiritual strength. And this type of strength is the most abstract, and it's honestly the hardest for me to describe. But from what I've come to understand, spiritual strength is a lot about balances. Balances meaning that you want to be a monster. You want to have the capability of harm, but then not do harm. It's having the capability of doing damage, but not doing damage. That is virtue. That is being good. That is having spiritual strength. Spiritual strength is knowing that you're the best, or having arrogance, but also balancing it with humility. What's difficult is not being humble, but it's being humble after you've developed the part of your mind that's able to overcome great obstacles. It's to have that ability to overcome obstacles and have that perseverance without overextending it into arrogance. That's real humility. That's real humbleness. It's not you just saying, I'm gonna settle right here. That's not being humble. That's not humility. It's having that capability and then reining it in. Spiritual strength is being aggressive, but then taking a step back and saying, no, I need to be patient. It's having both sides of all these coins. Spiritual strength basically comes down to virtue. Virtue meaning, what are your values? How do you want to live your life? What is the code of honor that you set? That's how I'm going to live. And you live by it regardless of if anybody else knows, right? No one else can know your values, the values that you set for yourself, your honor code. No one else can know that. And let's say that you break one of your rules, you break one of your values. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna say, yo, you just broke that value. No one's gonna know. But you will. And it's spiritual strength to look at that and say, even though no one else will know, even though I'm behind closed doors, I will still do the right thing. Doesn't matter if it takes me longer. Doesn't matter if it takes me longer to success. I will do the right thing. That's spiritual strength. Those are all the 3 types of strength. Remember, you need all 3. You can't have one, you can't have 2. You need to have all those types of strength. Try to implement those into your life. They are all important. And on a side note, as I said before, if you're looking to increase your physical strength, but do it from home and do it with body weight, with calisthenic exercises, check out the first link in the description and I can help you there. With that, I hope that you really got something from this video, that you got some insight and you really started to understand strength. With that, I hope that you go out and conquer.